Welcome to the Vintage Telephones channel. Today I have a first look video of this telephone from Argentina. And I wanted to bring up the first look at the 1990 German VTAP 791 that I had done a final look on the other day. In the first look video of that telephone, I had briefly mentioned about there being an Argentinian version of the VTAP 791 made by Siemens. This one's in more of a standard gray than cream color is found in the VTAP 791s. They did make these over in Argentina under license of Siemens, so there's a lot of markings of Siemens Udalska on various places such as the network, the dial, and everything. Dials from Siemens, and pretty much the plastics are Siemens. Now, this is not called the VTAP 791 because that is a Bundespost, Deutsche Bundespost special designation model number. This is called the Masterset 113, the Masterset 113, as it's a non-German Bundespost phone. But this telephone was made for the Intel Argentina, the state-owned telephone company. So it's in a little bit rough shape. I think this phone was used somewhere where chemicals were involved because you can't see it, but it looks like someone had wiped something. But it's like some sort of clear, something that's dried up clear on the phone. You can kind of see it. There's like brush strokes and all that. And don't know if it was some sort of maybe auto garage or somewhere where a lot of chemicals were involved. But something happened to the plastic. It might take a little bit of micro mesh of some sort, or I might even be able to wash this off. We'll see how rough it is, but it's all over the plastics and everything, even the handset. You can even see, I don't know if you can see it, I think there's even a fingerprint. There it is. See, it looks like brush strokes. I don't know what it was, but it dried on this plastic, and we don't know how well it'll come off. So here's a look. This is a 1984 telephone, and it is very, very dirty. And you could take a look at the dial here. The finger stop is broken off. And we got a broken place here on the finger wheel. Both of these things I was aware of. I saw in the seller photos on eBay. But thankfully I have replacements of each part. This dial center card cover is okay. The number cards are a little rough, but thankfully it's the original. I don't have to reprint another one. Also, the number card. I don't think there's any, there's a window here. It just has a blank for the card. No one wrote their number in there. I'll show you the bottom. Different label. There is the Intel logo. It's January 1984, Intel. And then, interestingly, they designated the color on the bottom label of all their telephones in Argentina. So this is a Spanish word for gray, gris. And then area is Siemens. They also did it with the standard electric phones like the TLF. I can't remember offhand. The VTAP 611 lookalike from Argentina. The TLF 300, I think that's what it's called. And they would put like, I think they put like standard electric or something on the bottom. There's the vents there. Usually, the vents are the things that fall victim to damage, but thankfully nothing's broken on those. What's out the sound of the bell? I don't know. Here's the cover off. And here is the, oops, I'm gonna flip it over here. There's a better view. Automatic telephone, Masterset 113 Siemens. And everything is in Spanish. Pretty cool. There's the bottom side of the plastics there. I'm gonna set this on the floor somewhere where I don't step on it when I get up. Here's the look of the insides here. There's the dial. This, just like the VTEP 791, all the wires are in these neat plugs here. And you can just unplug it when you need to disconnect it. And these parts could be easily be replaced in the time of their regular use. Interestingly, it's probably kind of a unnecessary observation, but interesting that they used orange plastic for the chassis for the ringer. I've never seen that before. Usually it's like gray or ivory. There's the bells. I kind of wonder if these are brass or steel, and I wonder if they'll polish very well, because they have that kind of rainbowy look to it, and something tells me that it might be just a protective layer. I don't know. We'll find out. There is the PC board. There's the ringer again. Here's the look at the dial. It's nice that they stamped everything with the month and year. I cannot do this with one hand, unfortunately. I'm going to have to... Give me a second. I'm going to put the phone down. Alright, got the cover off. That was a little bit of an ordeal. But these clipped on, and there's also an option to even put the screw in there, but they really didn't do that with these dials, because I guess it saved them money a bit, because it's one less machine screw they had to make. So there's the rotary dial. What's cool about these dials from Siemens, they're definitely something you don't see here in the States as far as American phones. But you can't really tell from this angle. The teeth on this gear are slightly at an angle, which is really cool. Anyway, I didn't want to spend too much. I feel like I spent too much time talking about the dial, but there's the handset again. So anyway, I'm gonna just get the cover in, put it back on. But anyway, once we get this phone going, I will show you everything when it's finished. Nothing else is broken other than the finger stop and the finger wheel of the dial, but what we'll do is, of course, do the final checkout, and I will show you these pictures of the different mechanisms of the dials. So, hope you enjoyed this first look, and thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.